All right, let's see if this works. All right, hopefully we are live. Yep. All right. Whew. Looks like we got something up and going here. Hopefully some people start showing up. But yeah, so doesn't look like we have anybody up yet. Hopefully my audio is working correctly. And I guess we'll just wait for the tweets to do their thing. Yeah, slight change plans. And you probably have noticed Brandon is not here, so. But you know, things happen, and we are flexible. So let me see. Give it one more minute here. But you said. All right. Well, let's get things going here. So I am Travis. If you just happened upon the stream and don't know what's going on, I'm Travis. I am one of the two hosts of Interdimensional RSS, the unofficial Rick and Morty podcast. And Brandon was supposed to be here with me, but unfortunately, he had a minor emergency that went down literally like 2 minutes before we were going to start this stream. So the idea behind the stream was we were going to do a live podcast, basically record our podcast for this week. We're going to recap season 3 in general, but that is not going to happen tonight. And I figured, they're advertising it all day, and I've got this sweet Rick and Morty garage and spaceship set that I need to build anyway, so why not post the stream anyway and hopefully get some folks on in just a second. So if you're in chat or if you're watching, definitely let us know that you're here and let me know if you have any questions or have any comments. I'm definitely a podcaster by nature and not a live streamer. So if you have questions or anything like that, let me know. But we'll crack into this thing in just a minute. And oh, okay, so we do have a couple people on. Awesome. Oh, and apparently the audio is still on my phone as well. Okay, yep, all right. The way you said that sounds like you won't be joining us. Ouch. All right, I'll hang for this. What up, Sire Dark? Thanks for being here. But yeah, so all right, here's what's going on. Brandon was going to be here. We were going to do the podcast live, but unfortunately, he had to go and take care of a brief emergency. It's possible he could be back, but what we're going to do is we're going to build this, and then I'll answer whatever questions you have. We won't have any off-the-cuff music, so to speak, or any drops, but I'm happy to talk about sort of what's going on with Rick and Morty fandom right now, and also some other things that are going on. But without further ado, let's get this off of my face, and let's focus on let's focus more on this Rick and Morty boss that I've got. So first off, I'll show this off to you. This is the set. It's from McFarlane Toys. 293 pieces. It's got the garage. It's got the spaceship, as well as Rick and Morty. And then I've actually built the discrete assassin set. I did that with my kid the other day. But yeah, I have the Smith family garage as well, which maybe we can throw together on another stream in the future. But let's crack this bad boy open. Maybe I should have brought a knife. All right, here we go. Yeah, I've sort of done Legos forever, but these McFarlane toys they don't snap together quite as easy as Legos, so we'll see how successful this is. Obviously, instruction book, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my gosh, 5 random piece of cardboard. Well, I'm just gonna dump these out. There are so many individual bags. I don't know, we could be here for a while, guys. And then, of course, the Morty figure is jammed in the box for display, so I'll try to rip him out. Okay, that's everything in the box. Sire Dark says he's always been a fan of McFarlane's resin figures. Yeah, for sure. McFarlane toys in general have always been really high quality, I think. I have Charlie from Lost over off camera with all my Lost paraphernalia, and that was a McFarlane release. Really high quality, a lot of detail in them. These figures are a lot different. Morty's, I mean, they're going for a Lego vibe. I get it, but I mean, yeah, it looks like a little Morty. He's got the confused like W face that he usually has when things aren't necessarily going his way. But there are so many bags here. I don't even know where to start. Hopefully this instruction book will give us some sort of a clue. There's also stickers in here. A whole bunch of stuff. So, all right, I guess I'll just get cracking on this. All right, so I can't really tell based on this. We got a few people in here now. Okay, yeah, and for those of you that are just joining us, Brandon was supposed to be here. We were actually going to do a live recording of our podcast for this, with the semi-pertinent news and main thing. We're going to recap season 3. That podcast is still coming, and we may still do a video for that, but for now it's just me building some Legos, or some knockoff McFarlane Legos. So I'm going to get a bunch of this stuff out of the way, because it looks like this bag was my first go-to. Remind me that bag fell on the floor later when I'm looking for one. I'll just have a few of them down on the floor. So for those of you that have not been to apatheticenthusiasm.com recently, or do not follow us on social media, over on Twitter, @RickandMortyPod, Saturday, McDonald's did their what you call it, the sauce giveaway, I guess if you will. Also, I don't know, the huge debacle that has now shook the internet and shook in Rick and Morty fandom. But yeah, I actually did have a McDonald's location near my house that had the sauce available, and I decided to do my due diligence as a Rick and Morty podcaster and head out there and check out what the whole thing was about. And yeah, they only had 20 packets, so it was sort of a failure from the start. And by the time I got there, 2 hours early, they had already given away numbers for the sauce packets, and I was out of luck. So, yeah, I decided to write a blog about it. I was tweeting about it throughout the day, but it was kind of just a mess. And I don't know, there's been a lot of fallout over the last couple of days about sort of the fandom and people getting crazy, and there've been a few people that like have been really talking crap about Rick and Morty fans because they even went to a McDonald's in the first place to try and get the sauce, which, I mean, like, I get it. It's sauce, and it's sort of been like a joke amongst fans since, guys, this set is, the pieces are all over the place in these different bags, so this is going to be, all right. This is going to be interesting because some of these pieces are like duplicates. They don't look like they. But yeah, so anyway, so the sauce, it was, you know, honestly, the location that I went to, there were a lot of people that showed up, for sure, and people were coming in and out throughout the day. And so it's kind of cool maybe that they did do the numbers, because then people knew right when they got there that they didn't have a shot at the sauce, so they could kind of just take off and not have to spend the rest of their afternoon hoping that they'd get some. But like half an hour before 2 o'clock, right around 1:30, the line was wrapping around the store. Like it was, there were a ton of people there. And so I don't know, like a lot of the pictures and stuff that I saw online, they didn't really reflect what I saw from the McDonald's. Like there was like one dude that I think had to be escorted off. He was like an old dude, like 50 or something, which was kind of crazy. But someone's saying that McJerry's dropped the ball. Goran wanted the sauce, but people lost their minds. Yeah, I mean, McDonald's really kind of screwed up and underestimated what the turnout would be for it. I don't understand why they would only make 20 packets for a store. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like why do you think that's going to be sufficient? They apparently picked locations that were really close to colleges, which, I mean, makes sense that, okay, you're gonna get a lot of people that are definitely in your demographic and capitalize on who Rick and Morty fans probably are. I realized that there's like nothing going on right here with the Legos, but just trying to find the pieces that are supposed to go for this, and it is they're in like separate bags all over the place. So there, look, I got a piece together. Deal with it. We'll figure this out. They also don't go the way normal like Legos would usually go as far as directions, where you kind of expect, I don't know, they don't show the pieces going on until afterwards. So, oh gosh. But anyway, so the bags are usually marked for organization. Yeah, no, you are right. If this was a Lego set, I would definitely agree with you that they would be marked. But there is nothing on these bags. This has a bunch of like choking warnings in every language imaginable, and then nothing. And so far, the pieces I've found for this start of the set have been in 3 different bags. So, but I did find Rick. Rick is in one of these bags. I look like a total Lego noob right now. So, did anybody else try to get sauce, or just Yes, somebody's talking about that they're trying to do that whole one day only promotion thing. It did drum up more interest. I think if they just said, all right, the sauce is back for 2 weeks, they definitely wouldn't have gotten the publicity for the event. I don't think that many people would have turned out in large numbers. But for me, the thing that kept sticking in my mind as I was sitting there and watching fan after fan come in and ask about the sauce and then walk out was how much business they had to be losing. Like, there were so many people that would come in and ask for it and then walk out not buying anything. And I don't know, like, that doesn't, it's sort of like the whole Nintendo thing, right? When Nintendo was releasing like the Wii or the Switch or any of those, they never seemed to have enough of them. Or especially like the mini consoles, the NES and SNES that just came out. Like, so many people wanted to get those, and it just seems like they didn't build enough to make up for demand. So I don't know, that was all right. Hello to all the new people that are here. Julie, what's up? Had to find the laptop, but thanks for coming. Yeah, and as I said earlier, Brandon was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, he did have to bail. Hopefully we can get him in here. Guys, there are a bunch of little, like, I don't know, the lighting's awful, but these little teal pieces. I don't want to jump to the conclusion that I got like 3 of the wrong thing right away, but I'm going to thumb through these instructions for a minute because I am not finding the rest of the pieces that are supposed to be here. I think that's it. So I'm gonna make an executive decision and make some modifications to the set right from the get-go, and then we'll flex and see what happens. And put this there and that there. But yeah, so I don't know. The sauce thing has been an event. One of the biggest issues I have at this point is all the people online that are talking crap about the fans, like the legitimate fans that just went out and wanted to try and get their hands on the sauce. The people that are saying that, oh, these guys are idiots for even trying to get the Szechuan sauce, and who cares? It's just chicken sauce and all this stuff. I get it. Like, it's not a big deal, but from the April 1st episode, from the time that the series or the season premiered, like, the sauce has been tied very closely to the fandom, and I mean, to a fault. I'll admit it. We cover it week in and week out on the podcast, and there are times when we've admittedly been a little frustrated by it, but I don't know. I feel like McDonald's was, and we've talked to Chef Mike too. Chef Mike is an executive chef for McDonald's. We tried to get him on the podcast, and he hasn't been available. But like, he's a genuine fan of the show, and he really wanted to bring the sauce back because he's a fan and he knows that fans care about it, and so he wanted to make that happen. And I don't know. What do you guys think about the apology that they released, where they realized they underestimated the fan base's interest and they're going to bring the sauce back on a wider release? in the winter. Do you think that that was a pre-planned thing, and the whole event on Saturday was just like, hey, let's drum up as much publicity as we can, and then just bring it back for realsies in the winter? Or do you think it was like a reaction to the fan? I don't know, the fan crap. Also, I'm drinking Sam Adams Black Lager, crisp and dark with hints of cocoa. Drink responsibly, not sponsored. Yeah, also part of the auto multi-pack, and that's why I'm drinking that. Yeah, Gore in 2012. Yeah, the articles that are ripping fans, like, I don't know, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about how, like, the fandom kind of blown the whole thing out of proportion, and, like, they're embarrassed for the fandom and all this stuff, and I get it, but at the same time, like, fans are fans. Fans are into the things that they're into, and I don't know, like, don't crap on people for wanting to go and, you know, experience something that they've been talking about for a whole season of television. Like, really, it's, I don't know. Nobody here, and maybe it's because I'm like stuck in the middle of the Bible Belt and everybody's super friendly out here in the Midwest, but nobody was like upset. And there were people that knew that they were not getting sauce that still just kind of hung out and just kind of experienced the day and experienced seeing everybody else get it, and they kind of cheered when other people were getting their sauce. And I don't know, like it was not a negative atmosphere where I was. I wasn't in like LA or anything where people were apparently starting riots and doing that kind of stuff. Like that was not the scene where I was. But I don't know. I'm getting sick of talking about the sauce, honestly. I feel like this should sort of put the whole thing to bed. I'm not confident that it will, but I feel like it should. This is definitely the wrong piece, by the way. Let's see. 3, 6, 8. Yeah, that was the wrong piece. Yeah, it could have been a soft launch sort of market test, but I feel like if you're going to do a soft launch, if you're just going to test the waters to see, like, ooh, how many people are even going to be interested in the sauce, don't advertise the heck out of it. Don't make specialty like promotional items. Like, just put it out in a few stores and see if you're like, oh crap, like see if word of mouth like gets people to try it. But I don't know. That definitely didn't happen. Oh, you guys, maybe I should have started with the smaller set here. This is I think here's the new game plan. Is I'm just gonna dump all of these bags like a reckless adolescent, and hopefully I end up with all the pieces I need. I say I'm gonna dump all the bags, and then I look at 3 different bags, and I'm like, no, I don't want to dump that out yet because that's clearly part of the spaceship. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta think of it. Also, these pieces are not like clearly marked as far as their coloring. So some of them are brown and some of them are off brown. That's the piece. Haha. All right, so I'm gonna guess that I need a dark gray little T-nub in here. All right, so there were a few theories that were floating around on the interwebs this week. One of those being that the season finale was not, in fact, the season finale. That maybe it was a ruse that the show would actually come back on Sunday. Apparently, that didn't happen. I don't know. Did anybody catch the show on Sunday? I missed it. No, nobody. Yeah, I don't know. This season has been such a crazy sort of roller coaster with the fact that sort of troll episode, as it were, when coming out on April Fools, and then them saying that they had 10 episodes, which clearly they did, but things went back and forth, and I don't know, like, okay, I definitely think we're getting somewhere here. If I put this here, look at that, we're building a wall. Building a wall. Somebody's gonna get a wall built. Not an advocate for any kind of wall building, by the way. Okay, and we got a couple of these. But yeah, so this season has been kind of had its ups and downs, and I was legitimately happy with the season overall. Obviously, I wish they would have been able to execute 14 episodes like they talked about, and I think that knowing we didn't actually talk about this on the podcast last week, but we talked about it afterwards on social media, and it was if you listen to the episode last week, it was when Brandon was surfing the internet instead of listening and talking to me. It was him trying to find a quote where Dan Harmon was talking about. I think I got these. I think I got these flip flops, guys. I think the darker brown has to go inside. Yeah, the lighting was terrible, by the way. But yeah, so this article that Brandon was trying to find was the one where Dan Harmon had said that they wanted to do 14 episodes. They realized that 14 wasn't going to happen. And so they sort of turned the ABCs of Beth into a finale, even though it wasn't originally intended to be like that. Maybe I should show it to you guys like that. Goran, you think the finale carried the momentum of the season pretty well, and it wasn't their strongest finale, but you liked it. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it too. By the end, I thought I don't feel as an episode it was particularly strong. I don't know. I didn't buy into the fight with the president that much. Oh, guys, we're rocking and rolling now. I'm gonna get through this step in no time. But let me show you what I'm talking about. It lays out which pieces I need, and then just has little red arrows for where it should go. But you can't really tell where they are until the next step. So in a Lego set, they just kind of put them in there, and you got to kind of figure out where they go. I don't know. That's the way I was raised. Like I can't teach an old dog new tricks, or maybe you can. I'm gonna try. But let's see here. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't love the episode. It did have some of my favorite jokes of the season. I talked about it. The casualties in the Brazilians had me rolling. But yeah, overall, like, I don't know. I thought it was all right. Oh gosh. Slight piece change. Got it. We're good. So you thought the fight was entertaining, but the Pickle Rick fights were really similar. Yeah, there were. I mean, if you count the season premiere, there were a lot of really epic fight scenes this season. But this was kind of the third time where we had like a big sort of multi-scene fight go on between Rick and an adversary. And I'm just going to count pegs real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, this one is, again, definitely not long enough. But yeah, I felt like that fight kind of got a little played out, and I just wasn't buying it by the end. I don't know. What I liked about the season finale was sort of the transition in power between the rest of the Smith family and Rick. When we open the season, it's so obvious that Rick's the man. Rick's in charge. He's the one that's going to kind of control what's going on, and that shot of Rick at the end when everybody's just enjoying their Panda Express and Rick's just there kind of miserable. To me, it really I expected like the Curb Your Enthusiasm music to start rolling, where he's just kind of, oh crap, what have I gotten myself into? And like I get that this Rick, this version of Rick, is he's kind of in with his family. He's not willing to leave his Morty. He's not willing um, to just kind of take off. He's just trying to reinvest with this group. So I don't know. Like I'm curious to see. Do you guys have any kind of theories or speculations where they might go with season 4, as far as where they'll pick up and maybe what kinds of storylines they can do with a happy Beth and Rick, or Beth and Jerry, which is not something we've seen, I don't think, ever in the season or the series. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the toxic Rick fight sequence. Yeah, there's a lot of fights, which I guess Rick's always kind of fighting and getting. I mean, even from the pilot, he's always, whether it was the Federation or somebody else, he's always been getting into some fights. So, quick comment. While I have had a hard time finding a lot of these pieces, they're going together a lot easier than the first set that I put together. So that's at least a relief. I legitimately shattered one of the other sets that I put together, trying to squeeze a couple of pieces just because the little nubbins wouldn't fit in the brick system, as it were. Earlier we talked about the detail in the McFarlane toys and sort of how like the resin characters have a lot of detail. That is the one thing I will say about this set is like these little brown pieces. I know it's not going to show up on camera, but they have like a wood grain on them, and even the stuff kind of around the front here. There's a lot of detail with like cracking, and it just looks like maybe like cement or something. Which is nice. It adds something to it, I think. It makes it look a little bit more authentic and like a little bit nicer toy, I guess, when the whole thing's put together. All right, so I got one of these. We're kind of moving here. One of these, and that's apparently wood grain. All right, so. All right, so you guys think that there'll be at least one episode of Rick being frustrated with Beth and Jerry's newfound love? I could see there being a lot of episodes like that, to be honest. And just sort of his frustration in general with maybe not having his plan fully come together and having to deal, especially if they're like disgustingly in love and like being like a new couple sort of irritating. Like I could really see that kind of getting on Rick's bad side, which could be a fun change of pace. Somebody else said that they definitely think Beth will get sick of Jerry again, after a little while, which I definitely think is possible. I realize that building this off camera, and I apologize. But yeah, I don't know. Like, the staff is just as bummed as we are that we didn't circle back around the Phoenix person. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there have been a lot of post-credit scenes where we have some interesting stuff go down, and I'm curious. I feel like they don't put stuff in the show just just to throw it in there a lot of time. I mean, obviously one-off jokes and things like that. I don't know, they put Szechuan sauce in, everybody lost their damn minds. So, yeah, I think we could definitely see Tammy and Phoenix Person again. But I gotta be honest, I've been confused by the Phoenix Person scene for a while because at the end of that season premiere, the Galactic Federation is bankrupt and they've pretty much imploded. They've left Earth, and then you just have this small outcropping of Federation dudes who apparently were building a Phoenix Person. I don't know if they just hadn't gotten the memo yet that everything was gone or what, but I don't know. Like, is that hinting at a possible return of the Galactic Federation? Was it even in the same reality that Rick was in? Because while he destroyed the Council of Ricks, the Federation should exist in multiple realities, right? Is it just me on that one? So if they jump to another dimension, the Federation should still be there. Am I wrong? Somebody? Anyone? Either? All right, guys. We have officially made some progress. We have the workbench cabinet area of the garage here. This, I believe, will end up being the sink. And we got a back wall. And we're moving on to stickers. Stickers on toys. Something that has been an issue for me since I was a child. Not because I can't put stickers on, but because I have somewhat I'm overly attentive to detail, and if these go on crooked or sideways, I might freak out. So let's see how well I do here. Let me get all quiet and produce the best live stream possible as I screw up this sticker. All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest. This sticker is slightly longer than the piece itself, and I have issues with it. But we're gonna use another piece here. So look at that, all that building, and then apparently I activated Siri while I was talking to you as well. But yeah, so all that building, and then I covered it up with a sticker. Great job, everybody. OCD Live, coming live from Omaha. Yeah. All right. What else we got going on in the chat? How many people we got? We got a couple of people here. It's at least two. I hear two of you talking in chat all the time. Some of the other things that we had planned, we're going to talk about our top 3 and bottom 3 episodes of the season. I think we're going to save that for the podcast because that's easy enough to do. But what else is going on? Do you guys think Mr. Poopy Butthole was dropping any legitimate hints with his sort of closing remarks at the end of the episode? Do you think because he said the word Santa Claus beard, that means we're going to get a Christmas episode? Because, I mean, I'd like that. Sorry, Buns and Mics. All right, we got cabinets. Look at that. It's good enough for foggy digitized video, right? And I put it on the right way, according to steps 15 and 16. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see, or to find out if that Mr. Poopy Butthole scene, was that definitely how they decided they wanted to close out the season? Or was it just maybe they had planned on doing an episode with the old Poopy Pants himself, and then it didn't happen because of scheduling? There's so many things that we just won't have answers to. So let's be an internet that just speculates and tries to come up with the answers on her own. Somebody, you asked if the stickers are level. I mean, it's not true level, if that's what you're getting at. Everything is crooked once you experience true level. But I mean, I think when I get the rest of the counter built up, you're not gonna notice. You're not gonna really be able to tell. Yeah, Cyrex is saying that that he's been burned by Adult Swim too many times before, and that a Christmas special would be nice, but he's not holding his breath, so to speak. I get that. Totally get that. I honestly, I don't necessarily want a Christmas special. I like the season when it's out as a season, and I don't know, like, well, as much as I enjoyed the experience, and hopefully some of you guys have been listening since April of this year, when that April Fool's episode came out, like, it was crazy awesome for us. And it was the first time, you know, if I'm being honest with my friends here on a live stream, it was the first time that the podcast got a serious amount of traction, which was kind of cool. It was fun to have a bunch of new people checking out our podcast, and yeah, it was such a cool event because everybody was still just kind of waiting and wondering when the season would start, and so for them to kind of just spring it on everybody, and I like that. I did, but I don't want to live the rest of the series in a constant state of wondering, like, oh, maybe an episode coming this week, or well, maybe I'll never make plans on Sunday night ever again, just in case. Like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. And we talked about it a lot leading up to the series or the season premiere. I think getting that mixed up a lot tonight, guys. I don't know what's going on. But we're just kind of like continually speculating, wondering, like, are they gonna give us an actual date, and how are they gonna do it? And you know, they did a live event for that, and it worked out. That was kind of cool. I'm missing one, not missing a piece, but I'm looking for one piece, and I'm nearly positive it's got to be out here. So, yeah. Anyway, it'll turn out. Venture Brothers. Yeah, Venture Brothers was a really good show. How exactly did that show end? Did that just kind of fall off the planet, or did they say that they're going to be coming back for another season and just haven't? I honestly do not remember how that went. Guys, just point out a 3x1 in a dark brown if you happen to see it. Just point it out. Tell your friends. Tweet it on the internets. Bet it's in one of these green bags. Look at this bag. Look at this bag full of beakers, and it's got the little alien that Rick kills at the end of the Unity episode. And actually, as a matter of fact, this entire set, if I had to pin it down, takes place at the end of that Unity episode, because it's got the like suicide ray built into it. And one of these boxes, yeah, but it's got that suicide sort of gun, and it comes with that little alien. So, you know, poor Rick can't live up to Unity. Okay, so saying that Venture Brothers, so they originally had 14 episodes, got cut to 10. Doc and Jackson end up wrapping up loose plot threads in their hour-long specials. Yeah, I think that's part of the issue with just how TV production sometimes goes, and when they aren't guaranteed to have the following that they want to have. I think I figured it out, guys. It was a lighter brown piece. I think that was it. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna press on. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's no way that Adult Swim like cancels Rick and Morty right now, right? Like they can't do it. It's the most popular show like on TV, or at least most popular comedy. So it just none of that stuff really has entered my mind. But the fact that the seasons have taken so long to come out, and I get it, like animation takes a lot of time. Like that's just part of the business, unless you're South Park and you work super crazy hectic schedules and turn out an episode like in a week. Then yeah, it takes a long freaking time to put these shows out. So I don't know. I hopefully, like, The Simpsons have got it down to where they're like putting out a series every year, right? Like the network channels are onto that pace. So I feel like we could probably get there at some point. Look at that. We got white countertops. Ah, yes, animation is hard. Oh god, more stickers. You guys, I gotta put a clock on the wall. They're in arbitrary places. It's a calendar. Oh jeez, Rick. Oh my. All right, well, here goes nothing. It's just randomly pointed to a spot on the wall. Come on, Todd. Gotta make sure I get the time right on this. Hate to screw that up. The Simpsons. All right, so we're talking about The Simpsons. I mean, obviously, The Simpsons have been on forever. I watched The Simpsons when I was a kid. I will be 100% honest with you. I have not been a regular viewer of The Simpsons in well over a decade. So, look at that. We got a clock. We got a calendar. We got some countertops. This garage is coming together. I haven't seen the tiny little flies though. I don't know if those come in the set. But yeah, The Simpsons has been on for a really long time, and Brandon is, for as long as I've known him, he's been kind of a Simpsons diehard. I honestly don't know if he watches The Simpsons on a regular basis anymore. He might, but he seems to be keeping up with the show. But I definitely think Rick and Morty has kind of taken their place for him as far as just his enjoyment of shows. Got a couple of these. But yeah, Simpsons has been on a really long time. It's hard for me to believe that they still are coming up with fresh, new ideas. I don't know. Is anybody in the chat like a big Simpsons fan and like didn't want to send an angry letter to me about any of this? Yeah, those stickers. I don't know. Let me see if I can get in tight on the stickers. Yeah, so there's a clock and a calendar. Got these fat black outlines on them. Don't match the wall. And I'm fine with it. I'm gonna be fine. I'm not gonna freak out about it. All right, I'm looking for some really tiny pieces now that are not. I haven't lost any off the table yet. Nothing here that looks like that. Not advertised in these sets, but apparently 2 out of 2 have had them. Plumbers in each of these sets, which that's fun. Everybody has one. So look at this little set. Just the little things that toddler can definitely choke on. Check these out. So I think we need some of them. Yeah, I don't know. Original ideas on the Simpsons. I'm not holding my breath on. But that said, they did just do a nod to Dan Harmon. And obviously I didn't see it in the episode, but I've seen it all over Twitter where and Dan Harmon talked about it mostly on Instagram because he's been avoiding Twitter lately. Talked about somebody at Comic-Con saying, "Hey, we want to do a joke about you on The Simpsons. How like cool are you with it? Should we go easy or should we kind of throw everything we got at you?" And he was on board for them, showing him what they got. So it's a great little image of Professor Harmon, who's talking about his story life cycle, and he's drinking straight from a bottle of vodka. And then there's a wheel behind him that shows him like getting fired, working for network television, getting canceled, like getting picked up again or something like that. Basically the whole process of Community, and then streaming on Yahoo or something, and then going to work for like cable television, and then getting fired again. And then it just kind of repeats itself. So I don't know. It was pretty funny. If you haven't checked it out, go just search Dan Harmon Story Circle or something. I'm sure it'll pop up. All right. Moving on. Again, I'm appreciating you guys hanging out, and I'm sorry that Brandon couldn't be here. But what else from the show have you guys kind of? I don't know. Oh, this is something we're going to talk about on the podcast, and I'll get your feedback on it because you're here and you're being loyal listeners. What's been your favorite episode of the podcast so far? What is the thing that we've done that really was your favorite? Was it an interview we did, or I don't know, was it a feature of a particular episode? Like what's the stuff that you guys really liked, and also not just from the season itself, but were there any things that we did prior to the start of season 3 that maybe you've gone back and listened to if you weren't listening to this show before the season started, or maybe you're just catching up now to sort of fill that empty hole in your heart where it used to reside. But I don't know, was it? And obviously we're gonna do seasons 1 and 2. Like that's definitely coming. We're gonna work on that. I got some little pieces I'm throwing together here. I gotta find little twisty knobs. More toddler chipping items here. But yeah, like what did you guys really enjoy? I really liked a couple of the interviews that we did this season. Unfortunately, I didn't get to. I was on a family vacation when Brian Newton first came onto the podcast. He's a storyboard artist, has been a director on several of the episodes, several really popular episodes, in fact. But getting to talk to him after Maury's Mindbenders, and sort of just getting the extra like input from him about things that they wanted to do but didn't, or things that jokes that started in a certain way and then ended completely differently. I really got a kick out of that. All right, guys. It's time. This is maybe I should reserve stickers for the end. All right. So remember how I said that the clock and the calendar didn't have a definitive location? Well, maybe they're more definitive than I thought. But I definitely put them off of the counter a little bit, and this sink needs to go right in front of it. So I'm gonna do a quick attempt at remove and replace. Hold your breath. Pray for me. Oh gosh. All right. Guys, the stickers are going to stay put for a while. We're just going to hide them behind the sink, and we've learned our lesson. Without proper tools, which we do not have in my office right now, they're not coming off. Which is good, I guess. They were meant to be placed once, and Rick doesn't care about time anyway. He doesn't care about the calendar, right? He's a man of the universe. He doesn't even know what date it is. All right, so some of your guys' favorite episodes. Definitely like the interviews that we do with cast members. I want to get cast members on. We did have. We have had the voice of Summer, and I'm blanking on her name. I'm such a terrible host for a Rick and Morty podcast. She talked to us for a minute on Twitter, but I think there was a big deal this season about they kind of kept PR really tight for a lot of things. But yeah, I want to get cast members on if we can. The Ridley interview definitely was a favorite. I don't know. He spent more time with us than I expected, and we kind of ended that interview like on our it definitely wasn't like all right guys, like that's enough. I gotta get going. He kind of hung out and was definitely down with talking to us for a long time. I don't know if anybody has listened to the Grandma's Virginity podcast, which is a podcast that he did with Justin Roiland and Jackie Buscarino, which I was really unaware of that podcast until just before we reached out to Ryan Ridley. And so, but it is, if you're a fan of Justin Roiland type antics, then definitely go check out Grandma's Rigidity, because there's a lot of great bits on there, funny characters, and it's cool just kind of hearing them, especially the early episodes, like pre-Rick and Morty, hearing them kind of just go through their lives and what they were dealing with at the time prior to sort of the success that they've found now. It's a good podcast. Spencer Grammer, thank you. See, I could build Legos or I could Google. Guys, this is gonna be Rick's big like wire framed corkboard in the garage, and it's got its dedicated pieces. So I feel like I can't screw this up too much. Famous last words, right? You know, as a kid, when I'd be like throwing my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles together, yeah, that was choice. That went on perfect. Right to the lines too. Like they precision cutting on these, so kudos. But yeah, as a kid, if like one of my parents haphazardly threw on a sticker on one of my toys, you know, it bothered me. I'm gonna be honest. I had issues with that. So all right, we gotta find a piece that goes all the way up, Marie, to the top. I don't know. I think this is one of them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's good. All right. It's shaping up. It's coming together. Yes, definitely helping. I appreciate those of you that have decided to spend your Monday night with me. Yeah. Hopefully everybody else's Monday went pretty well on their what is it now? Native American Appreciation Day. At least if you live in California. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people had to work today, but I was not one of those people. So I went and saw Blade Runner 2049, which I thought was excellent. I know Brandon also went and saw it. It's definitely going to be a topic on athletic enthusiasm. So if you don't listen to that podcast, you better get going on that. But yeah, I went and saw Blade Runner. I thought it was excellent, mostly because I'm a sucker for good cinematography. I don't care if the movie moves too slowly. If I can freeze frame like a picture from it and hang it up on my wall, like you got something going for you. So I don't know. Anybody else seen Blade Runner? Is it still a noir detective story? Yeah. I mean, kinda. They definitely have changed sort of the roles of the characters. It's definitely still a detective story. Yeah, and I guess it is sort of noir-esque in its. This is not the right piece. It's got a lot of the. It takes a lot of its style and sort of pacing. There's no like overt like voiceover like oh. But I don't think the original Blade did it. I just watched the original Blade Runner this last week, but I think I watched like a director's cut or something, and I don't remember Deckard doing any like voiceover in it, but I feel like I watched a version of the movie that did have that. So I'm trying to remember if I'm crazy or if that actually happened. Speaking of crazy, there's definitely a piece in here that looks sort of like this, sort of like this, but it's not either of those. Sort of.
Julie, are you the same individual from Discord server that's been hanging out? I get so many screening stuff. As you may or may not have realized, I'm not that mean in general.
So class.
I can make this piece work. Maybe they changed the mode. There. All right, back to director's cut extended. One of them did have voiceover in it. Fire Dark, you are like doing a Rick and Morty podcast. Maybe just being a research guy. I gotta admit, you're the one that introduced us to Wisecrack over on the subreddit. Yeah. Who took off was you, by the way, with the podcast. Squanch. All right. Well, we're just gonna press on. We can't sit here for too long worrying about one. Trying to see how integral it is to the overall structure of everything. I don't think it does anything. I think it just so I'll shove it back in there later. Oh, Mike went dead. Disconnected. Oh no. All right, I think I fixed one of them. All right, so I think we might have one of them back. Still live. Can you guys see? All right, you can see the table. Whoa, my hand on my phone. Crazy. My other computer that was on the other video is having issues. I'm gonna see if I can get that working. That way you can stare at my bald head. Well, this. hopefully you can still hear me. I think I'm on the camera. Ooh. All right, let me see.
I'm still here. But I may. Oh, can you guys hear me? I guess I could just turn this up as well. Uh, oh, okay. Um, yeah. All right. So we're gonna go with this, and I will see if I can get the. That was the loudest I've been all night. Oh boy. Maybe I was using the wrong. Oh, and now I'm playing it on my. Okay, well, cool. All right, we're back. Maybe I was on the camera mic the whole time. Again, I blame Brandon. Everything is clearly his fault, and he really should have been here for this. No, he is doing important work right now, and we'll do this again. We'll definitely do another stream again. He was supposed to be my producer guy, though. He was supposed to be the guy that made sure I didn't ramble on aimlessly for an hour or two, like I'm kind of doing already. But some of you stuck around, so I don't know. Good for you. I appreciate that. And for those of you that are just joining us, we do have the garage mostly up and running. We're getting things put together slow and steady here, and I've already screwed up some of the stickers, so that's happening. I'm still convinced I'm missing a piece, and as I open up more bags, earlier I said I was going to open up all the bags and just sort them out, and I didn't do that, but I think it's about time, because there's definitely some stuff missing. This is definitely spaceship, though. And so is this. It just wouldn't be wise. The piece isn't in there either. Maybe. Nope, definitely not in there. Definitely. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I totally kicked the table, guys. Oh hey, we just got a message. Brandon's headed back. Maybe we'll get some chatter time with old Brandini before I get this thing completely built. Let's start taking bets now. What comes first? Me finding the piece I'm missing, or Brandon showing up? I will not get upset if you say Brandon will be here first. It's a high probability. It's got to be around here, guys. It's got to. I feel like it's one of these two pieces, maybe. Maybe it's that. Maybe they just edited it a little bit. I'm going to go with it. I feel like it doesn't look like it does in the book, but it also wouldn't shock me if they made a minor change to it. So throwing that in there. We got one more post to build. Do it with these cool wood grain pieces. All right, so what other Rick and Morty topics haven't we covered? We talked about the interview episodes that we've done on the podcast, but what other episodes do you want us to do in the off season? Is there, like, we did a couple of episodes prior to season 3 where they were focused on sort of character arcs or the what you call it, their character studies. And we talked about Jerry in one of them. We talked about Summer in one. I think we did a Beth one as well. Pretty much just didn't talk about Rick and Morty exclusively. But would you guys want to hear any more of those, or is that kind of stuff just pretentious and you'd rather we just cover the episodes and stick to what's working? You guys are cracking me up in the chat right now with the missing piece humor. I gotta say, at work, I turn almost anything into a personal space joke. So I gotta give you guys props on that. Pretty much anytime anyone does a list, period, I talk about personal space. It's coming together though. It's not perfect, but it's coming together. We got another one of these little doodahs, and so we found the missing piece, guys. I'm confident of it now. The issue was with the illustrator, and again, you know, animation takes a long time, and illustration isn't easy, but somebody definitely screwed up. When I say who it was, Todd, but somebody messed up. Boo, boo, boo. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. This seems really tall, though. All right. Oh, you know what? It is supposed to be tall. All right. So here's the piece that I thought we were supposed to have much earlier. And we're going to throw this in here. Another last one of these Gugas. And boom. Some sort of interdimensional something or other. That seems wrong. But, oh, there we go. It snapped in. snapped in, guys. So here's all our posts along the back of the garage, and I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. When Brandon gets back, I don't know how we're gonna do this. We may have to drop the stream for a moment while he pulls everything back in. But if that's the case, I mean, stay tuned for round 2. Now I just have to find a tiny pickle to leave on the bench. Should we be concerned? Yeah, we should be concerned if a pickle shows up in here, because we definitely only have this weird little guy that is nothing more than a test for a suicide ray. Oh, look at these pieces. We're getting them, putting them together now. Still not quite as intuitive as a Lego set, but you know, it's making sense. I think I'm building a set of vice grips right now, which makes total sense for a garage. Oh yeah, it's got a little real working handle on it. And couple of giant desktop pieces here that I believe will make up the end of the workbench. And again, as I've said before, it just has little arrows showing you where the pieces are supposed to go. So you can never be really sure that you've got it in the right place until you get to the next step. Yeah. And this is the issue that I had with the other set, where sometimes the pieces just don't want to connect perfectly. One of them's good, and the other one, yeah, that's good. All right, look at that. We got almost 3 sides of a garage now. Oh yeah, okay. So you guys are talking about portal guns and blasters. I got these guys at the Spirit Halloween store. We can talk about those for a second. Pretty decent size. This one, there's 2 versions of the portal gun that I've seen. I've seen one that's put out by Funko, and I want to say that the green part up here is way better. Like, I think that actually has like the little energized, you know, nugget in there. But then this display, you can see through it. It says C137 on it. I think it lights up. Yeah, it does. But it just, I mean, it looks like a pretty simplistic Halloween item. The Funko one looks a little bit better, and I think it's the same price. So I don't know. This is my snapshot review. The blaster, I'm gonna be real honest, I didn't recognize that the blaster in the show was consistently the same until I bought this. And then I noticed it everywhere. I realized that the Funko figure that I have for Morty came with the blaster and stuff, but it lights up too. It makes a very generic, you know, blaster sound, and those are blaster things. So cool. All right, back to building. Enough fooling around. I'm letting myself get distracted. This thing's never gonna get built. We've got a bunch of additional white countertops that are gonna finish off the rest of this workbench. And they have very strategically placed little knobs on them. So I think that's where we're going to be sticking the decorations for the bench. Got 2 of these, 2 of these, And one more little guy here. And I'm gonna play it fast. No, I'm just gonna check the next page because realistically I'll mess it up and then I'll get frustrated. Yeah. All right. That is a clean looking work surface right there. Way to go, Rick. Yeah, it's coming along, coming along. We're on step 48 out of 70, 71. Well, 68 and 69 we're building the characters, so we're pretty close. We're pretty close, guys. Oh yeah, okay. So the portal gun. Back to those things. The portal gun and the blaster. Those are sold separately. I honestly just walked in the spirit store and said, "Hey, take me to your Rick and Morty junk." Bought those and walked out. Brandon and I have both talked about this. We are not huge fans of the look of the Rick costumes. The Morty costumes aren't much better, but yeah, I don't know. I think you can do a costume of a cartoon character. Obviously cosplayers do it all the time and they do an awesome job at that. But I don't know, like Rick with his really stylized hair and things like that, it just doesn't look as good when you try to when you like make it out of real hair and everything. I don't know, like, and especially at the spirit store, they make the unibrow the same, like it's attached to the hair, and it doesn't even cover up the dude's normal eyebrows, and it looks real junked up there. So looking for this is again a little bit confusing. I'm looking for a piece that should be this. It's got detail on the sides, but oh my! Now my headphones are knocking the microphone. Please. You know, I'm willing to just. We're gonna play it fast and loose. We spent too much time looking for pieces that we didn't need. It's covered up anyway. Come on. What is this? Okay. We're going to use this piece. I don't know. And it's covered up by a board, which I think it's a wooden board. I'm running out of options here. These are looking more gray than wooden. All right. Yeah, does it make it a triple brow? Yeah, it kind of does. I don't know. The Rick and Morty costumes, I would, in a pinch, I would go for the Morty mask. Honestly, I saw the Morty masks in the store, and I thought, oh, that's two for knocking the mic. Third time I have to take my headphones off. We're putting blinds up over the window, you guys. Yep, that's right, another sticker. But I wouldn't mind getting one of those Morty masks and like tossing it up and my man. Hey, let me see if I can get Brandon in here. My other camera shut off. We've had a couple of technical difficulties, Brandon, but let me see if I can get you in here. Guys, can you hear Brandon?
Like a ferret.
I pushed it to live. You should be on the output here pretty soon. There he is. Oh god. All right, Brandon, you're here. Let me, while we're at it, let me see if I can get my other camera up. So say hi to the people.
Whoa. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh dear Lord. Can people see me?
Yeah. You're up in the corner of the stream now.
I'm up in Kwanzaa. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Huh. Up in Kwanzaa.
Thank you.
Soundboard. Look at that.
See, this is what the people were missing. So Sire Dark's been hanging out with me pretty much all night. Go for Brandon. Yes. All right, cool. And you're officially in chat too, so you can manage chat for me now too while I do the rest of this.
I just wish your microphone didn't suck.
Which mic do you hear right now?
I hear the other one. I hear the one. Well, or maybe just my connection's bad. I don't know. People in the chat, tell us: is Travis's microphone? Does he sound distant?
So I did sound distant for most of the live stream, and then I switched something, and then Sire Dark said I sounded the best I had all night. So maybe you just get crappy audio.
Maybe that's my answer. I mean, how's my audio sound?
Excellent.
I put the microphone down here. That way nobody can see me. Hey, cool. Thanks, Julie. You sound great as well. And you, Monica. Text-based misconception.
All right. Well, I think something's going on with my Wi-Fi, which means I really should have
probably
gotten a second Ethernet cable. But they can look at your face while I build this gobbledygook. I've basically had a stream of consciousness, Brandon, as I think out loud and go over loosely the podcast topics that we had already discussed in advance on my own. So welcome back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah, as you can see from the glare, it's not quite nighttime where I am.
Definitely not. You're not long for this this island, so to speak.
No, that is 100 accurate.
100. Here I go building again. Oh god. So Brandon, what stuff from the podcast that we were going to talk about would you like me to rehash for you now?
Yeah,
I want to get your opinion on Saucegate 2017.
I can tell you what my opinion on Saucegate or Szechuan Gate is. Saucegate, Szechuan Gate. Which one sounds better? Let's start with that.
I feel like Saucegate is shorter. Szechuan Gate, I feel like is a syllable too far. If I'm being honest with myself.
Yeah, it's I don't know, because there's Saucegate. Okay, well, there's two for Saucegate. There's one for Szechuan Gate. Saucegate it's too easy for me. With Rick and Morty, I just feel like everything it's a little bit better than that, and everything's a little bit smarter than that in Rick and Morty.
Oh, Brandon, not you too.
I mean, to be fair, you have to have a really IQ.
So something we haven't. I mean, like we talked about, sort of the fallout of the sauce and that kind of stuff, but didn't really speak to the fan toxicity stuff. I don't know. Like, I don't know. We've done this show for several months now, and we've had really good luck with fans.
Well, here's the thing. I'm torn, right? I'm torn with just maybe not Stossgate in general, but that's I'm going in the wrong direction. I'm going to talk about fan stuff. I guess Szechuan Gate stuff ties into it. Okay, here's the thing.
Lay it on me, Brad. Lay it on me.
Here's the thing is that, there are a ton of articles. I'm sure you've seen one in passing. I'm sure everyone else has. That like the fan base is entitled and they're pieces of shit, and that why would anybody go to a McDonald's for sauce? Why would anybody do that? That's absurd. God, the fans are so stupid. And people writing those articles are usually fans as well, which is where the torn part comes in. But it's somebody. Where did I read it? They said it's the equivalent of like going to a Star Wars movie, a new Star Wars movie,
Stairwares,
and wearing a Darth.
I just bought my tickets. For
I know you did. Meet up Nashville, and wearing like a Darth Vader costume to the movie, and like you don't go up to the person who's wearing a Darth Vader costume and say, you have the wrong idols. You clearly you don't understand what Darth Vader's about. He's not about where he's not a good character to model yourself after. No, it's like it's part of this communal.
You need better heroes in your life.
It's part of this like communal experience to be like, hey, this was mentioned in a show that I love, and like I wanna be a part of that. Now the problem comes in is when people are being assholes about it, and then they're treating these minimum wage employees under minimum wage, whatever some kind of wage, some kind of non-living wage employees, treating them like crap because they're working in a McDonald's that only got no packets because they were advertised and then they didn't actually have any. So
yeah, I don't like. I do think that there is a significant like opinion about Rick and Morty fandom as a whole, and kind of talking crap about the fans as if we were all out there like talking crap to McDonald's employees, or like I got there 2 hours early and found out I wasn't getting sauce, and I was upset. I was frustrated, but then I was like, you know what? I do a podcast, so I'm going to report on this anyway. And at that point, I was like, it's fine. Like,
fine.
It is sugary dipping sauce.
It is.
It is not. It is not going to change my life.
It's like sugar chicken.
One way or the other. Chicken. Yeah, and honestly,
it's got like 5 eyebrow hairs.
Sugar chicken is probably better than the Szechuan sauce. Like, okay, you guys, I did the live tasting or whatever on my phone, and if I'm being real honest, like the sauce is only okay.
Be honest, Travis.
It's not that good. Like maybe Justin Roiland loved it. Maybe he's got a slanted memory from like a skewed memory from his childhood, but I thought it was all right, but I wasn't. I think you can visibly see me kind of like cough right after I taste it for the first time because the flavor is really strong.
You know what
it has a.
You know what it is, Travis? I went to the store the other day, and they have Cadbury Scream Eggs out now, right? Because it's Halloween.
Oh, Just Cadbury trying to cash in on another candy coated holiday.
Yeah,
Way to go. Cadbury Gate 2017.
Anyways, like Cadbury cream eggs for Easter, Cadbury cream eggs, whatever. When I was a kid, I love those things. I felt like the inside of the egg used to be so much better, but now, to use a Food Network term, it's cloyingly sweet. And
what does that mean? Does that mean too sweet?
It means cloyingly sweet. It means what it means, man. It just means like it's just overpowering in the way that it's sweet. That's kind of how I feel about maybe the Szechuan sauce was, right?
The thing is it wasn't sweet.
No, I'm not saying the Szechuan sauce is cloyingly sweet. What I'm saying is the nostalgia for the sauce originally is why it's not. Like, it probably tasted better back then when he was in his late teens or early 20s and getting drunk and high or whatever he's doing. And like, oh, Koran. Absolutely.
Oh, get that Mulan sauce. Yeah, I'm doing stickers again, by the way, for those of you that have been in the stream for a while know how I feel about that.
Although I will say that for maybe about a 5-year period, I didn't have Jack in a Box. And I went and they got like a Jack in a Box in Texas, and then we just happened to be driving down to Dallas. And we're like, oh, let's stop in a Jack in a Box. I'm gonna get 30 crappy tacos, because I love their tacos. And guess,
I mean, their tacos are classic, but 30.
Well, guess what?
You'll be on the toilet for.
Guess what? I ate every single damn.
Wow,
every single damn one of them. And you know, sometimes our memories aren't wrong.
We're moving on to fanciful bits, by the way, Brandon.
What are we doing?
We've got most. I think the garage is for the most part put together, and I'm getting into like some of these pre-made, like decorative pieces. So, which again just has an arrow pointing to it, and no definitive placement whatsoever as to where it should go.
That's me breathing in the microphone.
I'll just guess.
Did
everybody leave after you got here, Brandon, or we still got people hanging out?
Que pasto, you say?
Did everybody leave after you got here, or do we still have people hanging out?
Yeah, well, the thing about the stream chat is you can't see who's still in here. So the last response we got, hey, Monica says hello with 30 crappy tacos. It's an exaggeration about the 30 tacos.
Was it, Brandon? Was it?
Well, I mean,
I know you.
We lied. It was like 16 tacos between me and Chelsea, and we both ate 8 tacos.
I mean, when in Rome, I guess.
When in Rome or north of Dallas.
Our closest Jack in the Box, being a Cali native, we have to get Jack in the Box every time we go to Kansas City. That's our stop, and my wife always gets the tacos. I tend to gravitate towards the sourdough Jack.
Sourdough Jack.
Yep. With
the last time I had a sourdough Jack, it was awful. But my friend was saying, speaking about crappy Jack in the Box tacos, that there's this nacho cheese taco there at Jack in the Box.
Yes, it's like a jalapeno one.
And I haven't.
Yes, I had one of those.
I have not had it, and I'm dying, literally, and metaphorically. To eat.
Brandon, isn't I seem to recall there being a Jack in the Box on island out there. Is that's a false memory?
Fake.
That's something that's been implanted in my mind. Fake news.
Jack in the Box news. I just every time I drive past it, I've either A, have already eaten, B, on the way to eat somewhere else, C, not in the mood for Jack in the Box, D, like stopping in the GameStop and looking at the pop figs. E. That's a fifth
Yep.
letter, right?
All of those things I've done.
Yeah.
Yep.
X. I'm taking a nap. I fast forwarded like 5
you're just it's not like you're without Jack in the Box. You just
it's not like that.
No.
I wish I were. Do you know what the difference between using were and was?
What?
What is in a sentence? So that movie with Zach Braff. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. The movie with Zach Braff, the Wish I Was Here.
Garden State?
Oh, dang it. Wish I Were Here.
Okay.
Wish I was whatever. Anyways, a lot of people were like, "Oh, grammar."
We're opening another bag.
Okay.
This one has Rick in it.
Anyway, so like were is
And
more
some of the suicide death ray.
Were is more of like a hypothetical situation. I don't know if that's true. I might be making that up.
So you're saying were is hypothetical?
I wish you were listening to me.
Yeah, that's hypothetical. Me listening to you, that's hypothetical.
Which Rick are you referring to? The one that behind me, or are you talking about Travis's?
No,
Travis's Rick. Travis Rick.
Read, Brandon.
Oh.
Read me the comments, because I don't have to check them anymore. Because you're here.
Yeah, I think Gorn is right. This might be Suicide Rick.
No, it's definitely Suicide Rick. Yeah. Like, definitely.
It's definitely.
Well, I don't know. I talked about that a little bit a minute ago, or at the start of the stream. But this version of the garage has both the suicide thingy, which also apparently pivots, and where'd he go? He's got this little Guga. I don't know if you can see that on the feed.
I can see it. Yeah.
But that's the dude that he definitely murders before he tries the ray out on himself.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, it's a family toy.
What's
for 14 and up.
You're welcome, Monica. What is that song by Chaos that plays during that? I know you don't know off the top of your head, Travis.
Sire Dark is our new research intern.
Oh, is he?
So, yeah, I almost gave him your job officially on the podcast while you were gone, but you came back in time.
Okay. Going to Safari. Oh, I can't go to Safari because, well, guess what? I got a text. You ignoring me, comma, you effing F. Friends. With friends like these, who needs anemones?
Yeah, that's for our spin-off Finding Nemo.
Chaos, Rick and Blordy.
All right. Pet peeve number 7 on this
Do you
set.
feel it? Thank you for letting me know that. Monica, you said it. I saw it on the phone just as you hit me up.
Give her creds. She got it ahead of you.
Do you feel?
What is?
That's a Peter Frampton song, right? Do you feel it? Need the Vox, the womp. Do you know what I'm talking about, Travis? The Vox that Peter Frampton used?
That's sort of like wah, 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 that sort of thing. I don't know.
That's it. If you hear little dip tops, that's me doing.
Oh shoot!
Oh, there it is.
Oh gosh. I think we're done. I think so. This little guy is not fitting in the little holes for. I don't know.
Biggity biggity.
I think I'm missing beakers, Brandon.
I liked them when they were smoosh, but they also
Throw back to that pajama party
yeah.
time.
I want to play that next.
Jumping around. I wish I had my wide camera on because
All right, turn that off.
I'm
Licensing.
grooving to this. Yeah. All right, guys. That's the garage. It's done. There's a few loose bits.
I just want pajama party time.
But that's the garage,
Oh, that looks.
which means we just have a spaceship to build.
Are you doing? You're doing more than the garage, yeah?
So this set came with the garage and the spaceship. And Rickety Rickety Rick, which is technically next on the steps for building. So I should build him. These, I will say these minifigs, if you will, they're not detailed for the standards of, say, a traditional McFarlane toy, but they got far more to them than just like a regular Lego minifig. Lot more going on.
Yeah, they're more going on than
be-
the standard Lego set.
I say that because I just put Rick's belt on him.
Speaking of Legos, did I tell you I packed up my Legos?
Yeah, that you packed them for shipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just fully built. Just tossed in a box with some
Fully built,
what would
with like a bunch
what'd you
of
use,
like
like,
newspaper to pad it, and I know that like I'm gonna get to Florida, and my X-wings are gonna be like W's.
your X-wing's gonna be a Y-wing when you get there?
The X-wing is gonna be just a torpedo, like a lawn dart.
Is anybody like stoked for this new Star Wars movie? Like, what's the relative hype level on it? Cause
I don't know. Let's go.
Because like I'm excited to see it, but these arms are like wiggly.
What about it are you excited about? Let me throw that question out there. Let me lob it up like Kobe, and then then it's gonna go through the hoop because it's Kobe, and then you're gonna get it because you're on the Thunder, and then whatever you're gonna throw it in because that's how basketball works.
Yeah. New big three in OKC. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. Oh, and Rick's neck is like almost too big to fit in here. I gotta really. Oh gosh. It's like my wedding night.
Sidebar,
what?
Travis. Goran. Is it Goran? I just want to ask. Is it Goran or like Alderaan? Is it like a Goran?
Goran.
Goran. Anyways, he wants to see another Parasite. She. Do we establish that? Just correct me. Just correct me if I'm wrong. A middle of whatever. Wants to see another Parasite-like episode. I agree with that. They'd have to. It would be interesting to like have a Parasite-esque episode with the whole like cloning and mixing and matching a bunch of like identity crises together. I don't know how they would do that, but it would be kind of a mishmash, monster mishmash.
I don't want any parasites, Morty. I just wanna.
Is that your
use my bendy arms? Just bend.
Is that your legitimate Rick impression?
No, no. It's I don't know. I didn't perform professionally, Rick, in front of a live audience like someone on this stream.
Yeah, like some of us.
I don't know. I feel like I do a terrible Rick and a terrible Morty. And maybe it's just because I don't fully commit to it, but I don't know.
You know what it is we got a review that says that you might have seen in the show notes about like this is a show that actually stutters and stammers, but they're not because they're trying to do crappy Rick and Morty impression.
Us? That we're trying to do crappy?
No,
Rick
they're saying
Morty
like it's a podcast that's not trying to do that. That's
okay.
Their stutters and stammers are normal.
Yeah.
That,
We're opening the last 3 bags, by the way. Just it's officially happened.
I just they're voice actors that get paid for that, and I'm like doing this service to the actual creators by half-assing or full-assing a voice impression.
Yeah. And as we've established, we try not to full-ass anything on the podcast. Maybe a few things.
I want to see Mark Hamill return as Luke. Yes. Nervous
Yes,
about how they're going to explain Leia
that's one for
in the
me.
next one.
Yeah, I feel like that necessitated a rewrite, probably.
Yeah, they're probably going to say like, she had to go. She had a dental appointment, and she'll be back.
She'll be back.
And
she just had to go. She's got to get a crown. Because she's a princess.
Okay. And Garan is 100% male.
Male.
Yeah, they're gonna be so on Wet Hot American Summer, the summer after the new one, whatever. Joe Lutruglio's character, since he's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he came back to record some episodes, but he was also recording Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So, in order for him to like go back and forth, they wrote it in a way that he like got in the bunk at the camp, and then he
right, and then he takes a nap.
Took a nap and pulled the blanket over his head. I feel that's what they're gonna do with Leia. She's gonna like, Leia, get in this unmarked and tinted windowed X-wing, and don't come out until we say it's safe.
And then they just never resolve that.
Yeah, and then it goes back to our Lost-esque thing with questions that never get answered.
That doesn't seem impossible. I think they will definitely utilize some of their CG wizardry like they did for Rogue One. And everybody's gonna know it's not really her, and it's gonna feel unauthentic. But I think they may do that. Well, no, they said they're not gonna do fully CGI'd Leias, right? Like, I think they said that.
That's good. That's good. The Uncanny Valley was screaming at me for Rogue One.
For Rogue One.
For Rogue One.
We talked momentarily about Blade Runner before you got back.
No, don't.
Yeah, I just want to know how did you feel overall about the visual effects in that movie?
Spoiler free, because it just came out. It's
be.
awesome. I loved it. It is a visual.
Yeah.
This is when they came up with the term, a feast for the eyes. They're like, you know what? There's gonna be a movie in 2017 called Blade Runner 2049, and this is what we're talking about.
Get ready. That's what it'll be about.
Is the director?
Yeah,
and Roger Deakins is the cinematographer, and that guy deserves an Oscar. He needs an Oscar now.
The cinematographer for sure, like shoe.
Like if it doesn't get an Oscar, like there has to be another movie that comes out in and whenever the eligibility period is, that just blows this movie out of the way in order for me to be like, okay, yeah, that deserves it instead. Because they like took everything from the original Blade Runner, and they took like what Ridley Scott did with the first one, a lot of the kind of like the ambient lighting and stuff like that, and it just narrative wise, maybe not be the best. I still liked it, but man, that camera work, fucking great.
Ugh. It was, and you know, it'd also be great is if these instructions made any sense whatsoever. All right. Yeah, I thought it was really good. So did you not feel that the story was like? Did you like the story, or?
I did like the story. Like you said, it was good to tie it together, tied the original and this one together, and I want to talk about it openly. I feel like it's not really spoilery if I say.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we can hold off. We can talk about it openly on Interdimensional Arts or on Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Yeah, Apathetic Enthusiasm.
So that's definitely the show for that.
Yeah. Like who isn't a replicant, I think, gets addressed pretty early on. So early on that I wouldn't consider it a spoiler, but I appreciated the direction they went with it. And that's what
as far as being overt with some of the main characters and where they stood
like new characters, like very very upfront with it, and I appreciated that. And I don't remember if like they said anything in any of the trailers or in the like post release news blurbies.
The
blurbsies.
So I think the statute of limitations on spoilers for the original Blade Runner is probably. I mean, I know we got some people that have already said they haven't seen the original, but do you feel that there was like that they were overt about making it a question as to whether or not Deckard was a replicant in the original?
Say that one more time.
Harrison Ford's character in the original Blade Runner. Like, did you feel that they were trying to like get us to wonder whether or not he was a replicant?
I think that was the idea. Depending on which version of the movie you watched, obviously one of the dozens of versions of the movies you watched. I think they made enough like hints and clues that you could read into it one way or the other, whether or not you thought Deckard was a replicant or not. And I think Ridley Scott originally said, or not originally, but later on said, yeah, I think it's more interesting if he's a replicant. But
but doesn't overtly say
I don't
it
think
either way. Sort of like with Beth and being a clone.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's it. That's exactly right.
Look at that. I tied it back into the show that we're actually popular for. I did it, Brandon. This ship is coming together way easier.
That is a good ship.
Than
good ship. Lollipops.
Than that freaking garage was. So much more intuitive.
Yes, Goran, like Cylons, in the new Battlestar Galactica, but yeah, really until like whatever, like the third season, when they showed you exactly who are the remaining Cylons were, and then it's always an interesting question, and obviously Blade Runner was part of that question of like what makes a human human. And if you can hear music in the background, good on us all. Like what makes a human human and like that whole agency of knowing that you are a robot, that you've been engineered and then finding your way in this world. I mean, really, aren't we all engineered in some way? Like your mom and dad or test tube, they created you, so that's a form of engineering.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be skilled in it. That's
soupies.
like you don't need a degree in it. Like my brother he's engineered a bunch of kids, and I'm pretty sure he like no effort involved with it.
Listen, you have to have a certain IQ, Brandon.
To be fair.
To be fair. All right. So what else is going on, Brandon? Yeah, I'm actually having a harder time coming up with topics to discuss now that you're here.
You're having a hard time coming up with topics?
Yeah, Toppy the topic. I did talk about GVP for a minute.
Did you talk about me playing Divinity Original Sin 2?
I definitely did not cover that.
That's too bad. That's a shame. Everybody still watching. Let me tell you about this new game called Divinity Original Sin 2. It is the sequel to Divinity.
Sweeping the nation.
Divinity Original Sin. Turn-based RPG, D&D style. Guys, you're gonna love it. Mention me and get it for full price.
Not a sponsor.
on not a sponsor. Nope. But it's on Steam. Whatever, it's fun.
Okay.
Okay, Destiny 2. Are you gonna get Destiny 2, Travis?
I don't know. What is the word? What is the word on the street?
The word on the street. People, it's an
Destiny 2?
improvement. What I've heard.
Okay.
How is it? How is it, Goran? How is Destiny? Better than 1. Good.
Destinies.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like,
that's a good start.
I bought Destiny when it first came out, way back in the fall of 2013. There's a story now. Holy wow! Day one purchase for me.
I'm out. Day one purchase. It's been out for like weeks.
And that was.
I will return military.
That was my problem with it originally, was like Bungie, they promised this like 10-year plan with like, oh, there's gonna be a story and it's gonna keep building up and oh, it's gonna be amazing. And I got it. I'm like, I'm going through the motions of where the story is taking me, but I literally, actually, I can say this, I have literally no idea what's happening other than me shooting things.
Yeah, I completely lost track of the entire like mythology with that series, and I'm pretty sure I got all of the like expansions or whatever. But I don't remember exactly what's going on.
I guess they had to change almost everything at the last minute. Yeah, well, I guess that's. I don't know, for a AAA game. Here's what bothers me about like AAA games, right? They know people like Battlefront. Battlefront came out last year or the year before, whatever. And they rushed. I feel like they rushed that out, and then they were like, oh, let's get this in before Force Awakens, and they missed an opportunity, and then they. Whatever. I wasted my money on the game as far as I'm concerned. And I feel like AAA games, they can just be like, yeah, people are going to buy them and we'll make money. Bugs be damned. Yeah. They almost finished and had to make drastic changes. Yeah, I believe it. Oh, yeah, Order 1886, yeah. Yeah, so in Destiny, another thing that I had an issue with, and this is not actually a huge issue, but it was so annoying to me that I hold it against Destiny to this day. which is the whole, like, you get cards for enemies, and you can put them in the almanac or the grimoire or whatever it's called. And like, oh, cool, I can read more about the story, read more about the lore. But as you're unlocking them in the game, I have to go to a website on my computer. It's over there. Like that's, like that little. It was such a small thing that I'm like, this is part of your game. You should have it in your game. Maybe even if you open up a web browser. I know Xbox has that capability. Like, do that. And they removed that in Destiny 2. That's good. And it was a major thing.
Really cool little detail here. Under the hood of the spaceship, they've got like the battery, like Rick's battery that he enslaves all the people in with their sub dimensions and stuff like that. Great job on that detail, Todd.
Great job. Great detailing. Yeah, I did get a new laptop, so there's a chance, small chance, that I'll pick it up. But it's
when is it releasing for PC?
Oh, I think November or sometime this month.
I thought it was October, but I don't know, mid to late. I think maybe.
I'm too busy between Divinity and Minecraft Realms.
Oh gosh, look at these are all tiny individual strips of sticker, like all these right here.
They're all really tiny stickers. Yeah.
Brandon.
They're all really tiny.
They've
too tiny for your sausage fingers.
They've been watching me OCD over stickers all night.
I'm gonna do this. That's
ooh, fancy.
Well, we got some PS4ers in here. Also, you can do this, Travis. Monica says.
Thank you for the encouragement, Monica.
I'm not sure if you're reading the chat, so I'm just gonna talk and pretend.
I'm not. Well, I'm not because you're here, and me focusing on the chat earlier, I think slowed things down monumentally.
Well, we Monica says you can do this, and I agree you can do this if you somehow make your fingers smaller.
I think it turned out okay.
Make your fingers smaller.
I think it turned out okay on that one. But we have like 6 more to go, so no promises.
What? Oh, yeah. It looks like Herbie the Love Bug's hood. I'm looking at stream output. Okay, PS4s. Let me ask you a question, Goran and Jules. Why PS4? I mean, is it for the online capabilities?
No judgment.
I have a PS4 and Xbox. I don't have a Switch. I spend a lot of money on things that I don't need to take me away from my family more. Why PS4?
As we live stream me building a knockoff Lego set every morning.
That's yeah. Chelsea was like, "Hey, you want to go get dinner?" I'm like, "No, can't. Gotta watch Travis build toys."
Yeah. Sorry, Chelsea.
It's okay. She's not listening or watching.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know.
Okay. Gary's mod. My brother was always trying to get me to play Gary's mod, and my computer for a long time couldn't run anything beyond like StarCraft 1998. That's an exaggeration. Like it could run StarCraft 98 at like medium settings.
Yeah. Single player.
Yeah, do not try to get me in the multiplayer game. It will just lag per second or like at 1. Yeah, so on PS4 I wanted a PS4 because I was really excited about No Man's Sky. And indeed, supposedly it's good now. But what my favorite game for the PS4 is Until Dawn. Until Dawn, like it's such a good choose your own adventure game that my wife, who won't watch anything else with me, that's not true. Games, she won't play Divinity with me. She watched Until Dawn, like we do the QuickTime events and stuff. Yeah, they did goof with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky goofed the way McDonald's goofed, in the sense that they made a bad decision.
Too soon, Brandon. Too soon.
I think there weren't even any McDonald's out here that offered the sauce, and I'm still like, yeah, you guys are dumb. McJerry's.
But you'll be able to just pick it up wherever you want this winter. Check out that.
That's true. You know what the opposite reaction of no availability is? Too much availability and me not wanting to take part in it.
I only go for the sauce if I have to fight people for it.
I mean, there's a difference between like having it select and like having a selective experience and making it limited. Like I get that, but like you don't go with a single ham sandwich to hurricane survivors and say, here you go, here's your food. Like it seems, and that's a bad example, I'm sorry, but like you know that you are going to have more demand than what you're offering. And for $1 billion company to be like, yeah, sorry, we could only make so much. Well, come on. You make me fat every other day because I eat so many of your fries. I think you can provide. And yes, they are trying to cover their own butts. I Blood Dome, Sauce Dome. Yes. Ooh, Travis, you want to meet me in the Sauce Dome? Never mind that.
You and me.
Yeah, that actually. I don't think that's actually as appropriate.
Yeah, maybe over Thanksgiving. Maybe we can get our sauce dome on over Thanksgiving.
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I feel for Chef Mike Harris.
Oh yes, Chef Mike.
Because I mean he's
Mike.
He seems so cool. We've talked to him, and I feel like he has employers that made a bad decision, and he was the face of it, and now he has to answer for it. In many ways, I'm trying to think of a joke. I'm trying to think of a joke that won't offend me.
so low standards on the offensive.
Whatever. I feel bad for the dude. He's probably in the Szechuan Dome right now.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Chef Mike was like, no, guys, I really think you should make a whole lot more of this stuff and get it out there because people are going to turn up for it. And some executive was like, yeah, nah, I don't think so. We'll distribute it around colleges and maybe some folks will show up.
Yeah, just like gonna fly around in a Huey and just drop off packets of sauce like with like little parachutes, like those old classic army men.
But let's make real sure that we have posters for all of our other classic sauces, because I'm sure that's really what people are here for, is the buttermilk crispy tenders and nothing having to do with Rick and Morty.
Okay, so here's
does anybody want to see the sticker I got, by the way? I could go grab that.
I'm looking at Chef Mike's Twitter. Here you go. And he has 6,000 followers.
Yeah, he's getting up
I
there,
haven't
man.
done the math, but were there even 6,000 packets made of?
No. I'm pretty sure most people estimated it at about 1,000.
Yeah. Well, like just even as like a baseline, like McDonald's could have been like, hey, look, this chef who people are following, he has legitimate friends, obviously, but also,
Yeah, but they clearly follow him for his baby pictures. Like that's,
yeah, maybe
me.
we should at least use that many as a marker to be like, oh, you know what? There's a fandom here, and Monica, yeah, I was reading some of the comments to his tweet, and people were giving him shit about it. I don't think they were getting mad at him, but he has to toe the company line, right? So McDonald's, they come out with their
and he's sort of the face of the campaign. Like they made gifs of him like with the sauce. So like he's kind of embraced that role. I think he's sauce ambassador.
And when
check it out, Working Doors.
And when his company comes out and says, "Oh, sorry, we're gonna fill this press release with a bunch of cringeworthy Rick and Morty memes," they're probably like, "Hey, Mike, get after this. You also need to save face for this."
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know if that's a conversation he had or if he thought it. Maybe he's like,
we're just speculating, but
maybe he said, "No, 10 packets per state."
I'm out. So, I don't want to be that guy, but it's too late. I already am. A lot of stores reported that they got 20 packets. But the store I went to definitely said that they only had 18. So who are we believing this? Are we thinking that my store that I went to accidentally got 2 less, or is the good staff, pocketing 2 packets and selling them on the eBays?
Yeah. I mean, good for the staff.
Good for them. There was definitely a guy that worked there that was like off shift. That was like, I saw him like helping the staff out throughout the day, and he had just gotten there early because he wanted to get his hands on it. Which, absolutely, tis his right as a McDonald's employee.
Hey, so we still have to record a podcast later. But I want to ask the folks who are watching. I recorded 2 separate intros, and so I want to play them for you now, and I want you to let me know which intro I should use. Okay, so raise your hand virtually. Let me know that you're here, so I'm not just playing it to Travis, who obviously I don't care about his opinion anymore.
Nah, he just does what he wants.
Virtual hands. I wish I could see who's in the still Goran. Counting you all time. Monica. Julie. Ooh, yeah, there's that virtual hand raise. Julie wins the prize, which is me saying she wins the prize. So put that on your mantle. Hopefully you have a mantle, like over this nice roaring fire, unless you're in the South where it's hot. And I don't know. Okay, whatever. Anyway, back to what I was going to say. So 2 intros. I know I'm holding up a single finger, but that means 2. It's like binary. If that'd be
Brandon, I don't think you understand what how binary works.
Yeah, no, it's O's and ones.
It means ones and 2.
Ons and offs. So we're gonna go alphanumeric. Okay, so here's the first one, which is a season 3 based one. Oh, I'm gonna get my finger on this. Okay. Oh god. So this is the first one.
Coming to you live from a dimension where season 3 isn't over yet. We're just getting ready to talk about one of 3 more episodes leading into the season finale. It's a good time to be live and a great time to be here on Interdimensional RSS, the unofficial Rick and Morty podcast.
Okay, that was number 1. Number 1. Number 2. You ready? You ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Can't fast forward to the soundbite, so. Coming to you live from a dimension where McDonald's doesn't underestimate the hype behind the Szechuan sauce and produces more than a total of 500 packets for the thousands of people across the U.S. dying to try it. Meanwhile, this is Interdimensional RSS, the unofficial Rick and Morty podcast. All right, there you go. And I can do a third one, which is I haven't made yet.
But you could do it if you
one for the second one so far.
I vote the sauce one, Brandon. I don't know if I get a vote in this, or if I'm just here for my good looks.
You like the second one, Travis?
Yeah, I do. I think we're about done here. Maybe no, we're not quite. We got to get some little propulsion things on here, I think.
All right. I see one for the second one, and whatever you said, Travis. That spaceship looks good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Second one it is. The eyes have it. The eyes have it. Okay, here's a third one. Coming to you live from a live stream. We're live streaming the hell out of some live stream. Travis is doing live stream stuff with his live stream. And this is interdimensionallivestream.com. Was that
100 years? That I think maybe that's why people think we're trying to be like Justin sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's really just the way you are, Brandon.
Thank you for
just
that.
the way.
Second or third? Okay, second or third. Cool. Well, the problem with the third one is, like, I didn't actually record that, so
you didn't record.
So I'll do a fourth one. Coming to you live from talking about me recording a third one, and I didn't actually record the third one, but someday, if you're lucky and the gods smile upon thee, you will get the third one on Interdimensional RSS or more. Is that one right?
I don't know. I think they're starting to fall off okay. A little bit.
Here, let me do this.
You're using up all those creative juices.
Podcast, Rick and Morty. That was the best one. Actually, we should change that to our just standard.
We should just do that as a standard one. Hey, it's podcast time with Podcast. Coming to you podcast from Podcast.
All right.
Podcast.
Goran, thank you so much for hanging out with us. It was a pleasure. Sincere honor and a pleasure.
Yeah.
Travis is out of here as well. No, he's not. He's still building stuff. I'm just gonna.
Yeah. I think we're about done here, Brandon. I'm literally putting a sticker on a Lego style beer can. Right there.
Hey, wait. Goran, if you're still here, I have a message for you.
Thank you.
Soundboards. Huh. I'm like a radio DJ.
So yeah, apparently there's a couple of little bits that go in here that have no definitive location. So I'll just kind of toss them in there. I guess you can make Rick and Morty sit inside this space shuttle. So we'll do that. Little bit of Rick. Maybe. I don't know if it... Watch me struggle with toys on live stream. Yep, sort of fits. Not really. Shove them in there. Gotta blow up the world, Morty. But yeah, so I think I think I did it. I did it, and I'm glad I didn't have. And these are the extra bits that they always throw in anyway. Extra bits. So hey, I still wish my actual camera was working, but it's not. So here's that spaceship one more time, and the garage with all of its little extra things in it. And we did it. We did it. Thank you guys for hanging out and building and helping me build it. And Brandon, thank you for finally showing up and talking about video games and keeping the conversation moving.
The famous line went in Blade Runner.
Right, exactly. But I think that's it. I think that's it for this our inaugural live stream, and maybe we'll find it. Maybe first and last. Who knows? But I think that's it. Thank you guys again for hanging out. And now we have to record an actual podcast for the other listeners who didn't show up to this.
Thanks for hanging out, Monica. Woo! Woo! And Julie.
And go write a review on iTunes. I'm sure all of you have already done that. And sign up on Patreon and hang out in Discord where we can talk all week about a variety of things. Brandon, I'm out. I'm going to turn off the stream now.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today on Interdimensional Livestream.com. Bye, Julie. Bye, Monica. A little bit of Julie, a little bit of Monica.